Alright, so I decided to come up with a build that would be for our newer players that are just getting into Dead by Daylight because they like Five Nights at Freddy's. Maybe you've dabbled in the game in the past, you've heard of the game, who knows? Or if it's your first time, if it's your first time in a Dead by Daylight playing as Killer, welcome to the Fog. Customary here on the channel, I'm a chain smoker, not a big deal, but I always light a smoke as I start any type of video that I'm talking over. So don't judge. We're an all-inclusive community here. But back to the topic at hand. And it's gonna ramble, but I'll explain why I picked each perk. So we're gonna start it. I'm gonna talk through it, explain my perks, and kind of what I'm doing. So I did not pick the map. This is all completely at random. But you can see right here, these are my 4 perks. No ed for endgame. Unrelenting, so that I can come back and attack quicker. Because it reduces your cooldown on missed attacks. Sloppy to make it harder for them to heal quick. Spies for tracking. The only real slowdown that I have is sloppy. This is a more aggressive build for a newer player. None of these perks are teachable perks from any of the killers in the game. That's why I went with this. I could have created a build that had your more common killers in it from some of the different base versions of the game that you may have purchased when you got the game. But instead I decided to go with completely common perks that everyone would have access to, provided you've played the game a little bit, gone through the tutorial, which, yes, the tutorial sucks, but you get blood points for it. So this is I'm taking it as you bought the game just to play this killer. So you haven't leveled anybody else up. You haven't taken the time to do anything else. You may have played a couple of matches as this killer, but you haven't leveled anybody else up to have their teachables. So what we're going to do here is we're going to kind of watch and talk through the match. Now, I'm working on the last achievement, which is to interrupt people going through the security doors. I've already got his adept. I've already put up a video getting the other one, none the wiser. So I'm more focused on other stuff, but I decided let's make a video for everybody. Now this lobby has 3 flashlights in it. And I know from experience, flashlight players kind of want to get their blinds and do lots of different things. Now, this is only my 5th, maybe 6th match. I could go into the stats tracker and check exactly how many matches I've played with this character, but I didn't play him in the PTB. So, I want to get injures on the board, because injures with my base weapon will apply Sloppy Butcher, which will make it so that if I interrupt them healing, they lose all that progress. And I have Spies from the Shadows, the crow perk over there in the corner, so that if they are on the ground, a lot of people might not know this, but survivors can disturb crows on the ground, so it's another way to track them. So if, let's say, you slugged for whatever reason, if they disturb a crow while they're crawling around, maybe looking for the hatch, that can help direct you over to them. Unrelenting, like I said before, cooldown on missed attacks so that I can recover a little bit quicker, get back into the chase and try to down them. No ed is just my end game. So there's no other real good slowdown perk that is out there fully available as a free common perk. And that guy just teabagged me. So, he thinks he's special. We'll worry about him as time goes on. Now, with Freddy's axe, it's not like the Huntress, where you just pull it back and it'll automatically fire as soon as you let go. You need to hold it down to wind up and then hit the button to throw it. Now you can use that to get them at pallets, because if they throw a pallet while you have your fire axe up, they're locked in that animation. So as long as your aim isn't horrible, and it's hard to tell the middle of your screen unless you've got, you know, a lot of practice with maybe first person shooters, or say you played Huntress in the past. You know, it's hard to judge the middle of your screen, and these fire axes are a little heavier, so they don't fly as far as the Huntress's hatchets. But it kind of helps you know where the center of the screen is to try and aim at them when they vault a pallet, or jump through a window, or throw a pallet, because that gives you an easy hit with the fire axe. So, like I said, I'm still trying to get the 13 more interrupts that I need. And if you noticed over there, the little bubble that popped up with the crow in it, that's spies telling me a crow's been disturbed. And we're just gonna chase her a bit. But you notice how every time I pull up the axe, she doesn't throw the pallet? This is an experienced survivor. She knows what she's doing. She knows if she throws that pallet with me right there, I'm gonna put that axe into her. So she, every time I pull up, she keeps going. I didn't have it fully up, and he was able to go ahead and, you know, slam that pallet down safely because I didn't have the full wind up. Now, a good thing about this map, it's a lot of linear hallways. So provided you can, you know, get them in a straightaway, it makes it really easy to hit them with the fire axe itself, the Huntress's hatchets, you know, projectile, things like that. So what I'm really trying to do is get a lot of pallets down, because pallets are their safety net. You know, they can extend chases with those pallets. I want to get them to throw them, and then I can get them out of the way so they have less resources. You know, as a killer, one of the things you want to do is get rid of the resources that they have on the board. So, you know, pallets make loops a whole lot quicker and a whole lot safer once they're gone. This is a pretty pallet heavy map. And like I said before, this is a lobby with flashlight people. And flashlight people always want to use their flashlights. And he was thinking he was going to come on in there and get the pallet saved. No, he was too far away from that pallet to be able to get there in time with the normal pickup. So I semi-tunneled Fang out there. But keep in mind, I've got no real generator slowdown, and I'm more or less at their mercy. If they choose to focus on gens, they can knock generators out extremely quickly. So I want to get injuries on the board so they're not as comfortable going for the saves. I want to try and patrol the generators. Like this one's got a lot of progress, so you always want to make sure you kick them, especially if there's nobody close. Now, that there is some type of missed action. Notifications are a little wonky. Somebody may have jumped out of one of those lockers there, or is hiding in the locker there, because they have just changed the AFK notifications, and I'm thinking things can be a little bit quicker. But you notice there, she went to throw the pallet, would have been locked in the animation, but I just did not get it right. Whereas that next time, they were in a more narrow area, and I was able to throw the axe, lodge it into them, and now I'm just kind of chasing to get more points. I don't believe... No, let's just watch it play out. That auto-targeted to the pallet. This map is pretty safe with all the pallets it's got. So I'm not running Enduring because that's a teachable perk. And you can also see, because the one Dwight there has a flashlight, he wants to use it. So he's staying close. I keep that in mind because I need to have injuries on the board so that they'll do panic drops of pallets. They'll be less likely to go for saves, and I can position them away. Now, survivors also make grunts of pain. So by injuring them, you're going to hear them just a little bit easier to help you track them. But that's also where the spies from the shadows comes in. So this way, they disturb a crow, you get that little bubble. I also thought about using whispers, but whispers is a 32-meter range, and it'll just light up, and that can create a little bit of confusion. So I wanted one that was a little bit more accurate for some of our new killers that are coming into the match, you know, just joining in, doing their first matches. Spies is really good for tracking. So all these perks everyone will have access to. You can see once again right there, I was aiming for them, but I didn't quite have the middle of my screen, so I lodged it into the wall there. But I'm also running very basic add-ons. The one lets me reclaim my axe faster as long as it's not lodged into a survivor. And I'm just going to cut him off because he's not looking. See, that's another thing. When you are chasing survivors, their head will turn if they're spinning their camera towards your direction. So you can look at a survivor you're chasing, and if the head doesn't move, that survivor is just running straight forward. Either they're a Windows player, a Lithe player, whatever. They are looking to just run and find that next resource, and that's where it's important to get rid of the pallets. Because he's running. He wants his safety net. He wants the pallet that he can try to stun me with. That way he can go for a blind, make some distance. I don't give him that opportunity when I notice he's not looking, and then I just turn around and cut him off. So that's where you paying attention to your opponent really comes in. And spies help me see this Dwight, and I don't know why, but this Dwight is running object, which is why you're seeing his aura and nobody else's. Dwight is running object of obsession, so when he is on his feet, I will see him periodically when he spins his camera in my direction. Now at this point, I'm relatively confident this match is fully going to go in my favor. So I didn't kick that gen right there because I know the last person that's on their feet was in this area, but I'm still going to kick it for points. I just didn't kick it right then and there because I had that spies notification. So it made me think the person was still in the area. And this is where spies comes in. I'm getting that notice because he just disturbed a crow on the ground. So instead of using Deer Stalker, where you could just see it only when the survivor is on the ground, spies works when they are healthy, when they are injured, and when they're on the ground. And this is pretty much about to be the end of the match. So once again, I pick spies because it is a very good tracking perk that everyone has access to. It works at all points in time in the match. Whereas Deer Stalker, which is another common perk that everyone has access to, only works when the survivor is in the dying state on the ground. And if, let's say, this group would have been able to get all the gens done, Noed would have given me a one-hit down. Because if they don't think about it, there's going to be totems at the end of the match. And Noed will pop, it'll give you a speed boost, you'll be able to insta-down players. So if you're down one or two survivors at this point, and all the gens are done, as long as you can get to them before they get to the door, you can secure either another kill, or maybe that last kill, and it also gives you that speed boost if, let's say, you're hunting for the hatch. So I hope me kind of talking through it and semi explaining the perks, why I chose them, and kind of how I use them, along with you being able to see it. I hope that helps any new players that we have joining us here in this game. I'm gonna forewarn you, play for your own happiness. Play the game the way you want to. There will be salty endgame chats if you are on computer or, anywhere that you can see the chats itself. So expect salt, expect toxic. Just don't worry about it. Don't take anything that's said to you personal. Overly offensive stuff, feel free to report. And I wish everyone the best of luck. If you run into me in the game, you never know what you're gonna get. I might be in a playful mood and I'm not killing anybody, or I'm going for content and I'm trying to get 4Ks. So once again, I hope this helps, and good luck to you. And let's look forward to the ninth year anniversary and see what they do for the final year of the Twisted Masquerade. But thank you all for watching. I hope you have a good day.